This is my discussion slash review for Found, episode 3, titled Missing While Widowed. And right there at the end, I tell you, it got all kinds of emotional. Let's talk about it.
Headed out for change, I just started on my quest. Yeah, the world will know my name, I'm excited, I'm obsessed. No one in my way but myself and a test. Yeah, I will be the best, yeah, I will be the best. Life is just a game, I'll be playing till I rest. I'll be there to claim my own spot among the best.
I know I'm late. I had a lot of personal stuff going on, man, but I am back. And what a way to come back, man. I'm telling you, this was emotional. Now, the overall case of this episode, it wasn't too emotional, but the other stuff we were dealing with our main characters was super emotional, man. The stuff going on with Gabby and Lacey, the stuff that's going on with Margaret. Oh my gosh, bro. And I love the fact that every week that it's starting to break it down and give each of our main characters just a little bit more depth into their life, into their overall story. We know that we're going to get a little bit more for Gabby, of course, because it's her story. But the fact that we're getting a little bit more of Margaret, and I'm assuming in the next couple of episodes we're going to get a little bit more of everybody else, I'm loving that, man. Because this episode, we see that Gabby is talking to Sir, and they're having this whole ordeal in the flashback about her being lonely and wanting a friend and everything. But turnabout is weird because as the episode progresses, we see that Sir convinces Gabby that he kidnapped Bella, aka Lacey, for Gabby. Like, he done it for Gabby to have, so she would have a companion, so she wouldn't be lonely anymore. And as the episode progresses, we see that Gabby is treating Lacey in a very weird way because she feels guilty that Lacey was kidnapped, and now because they don't really have any kind of inkling or clue where Sir is. Now, we know where Sir is, but Lacey doesn't, and that terrifies her because she still thinks he's out there somewhere and could possibly come back. Now, we see that messes with Gabby this entire episode, even though it doesn't defer her from the case. You know, she's still focused on the case, but it messes with her a lot. And now, at the ending of the episode, we realize that Sir lied to Gabby, and it was just messing with her so bad, man. But the way when she found out that he lied to her and she actually remembered the truth and was like, no, I wouldn't put anybody through what I'm going through. And she, boy, when she went downstairs, put everything you own in the box, put the books in the box, the toothbrush, the soap, and the water. You get nothing. Bro, that was fantastic, man. Like, Gabby is a boss, bro. Even like during the case, this episode, we see that Cliff, and I want to say it's Reggie. Cliff is the doorman, and Reggie is the guy that was missing this episode. And I feel like we knew that Cliff kind of had feelings for Reggie, like the way that he talked about him, the way he carried himself when he mentioned Reggie's name and everything like that. So it took Margaret to really actually point it out. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like Gabby possibly knew, but she was dealing with other stuff, bro. But the way that he was mentioning like his talks, and he just knew so much important information about this guy, man. So big ups to that. And we see at the ending of the episode that they ended up, you know, having a general conversation about them being together. So that's on them. That's cool. But what I loved is because the doorman missed him more than anybody else. And going through this entire case, I felt like the niece might have been a little corrupt, and I thought she might have had a part in it. You know, not her directly, but maybe somebody she took money from or something was getting back at her and was going to kidnap her uncle or something. But lo and behold, it was the bank guy, the bank manager. Bro, the way that the story unfolded, I figured something was weird with this guy, man, because he was too eager to help. Nobody's that eager to help in any kind of case or anything involving law enforcement. Nobody's that eager. This man was jumping on pins and needles because he was involved in the actual case. He wanted to keep his ears open to find out what was going on because he kidnapped this old man, matter of fact, because he was stealing money from him. That's so sad. And he knew that the niece was I guess you could say living an extravagant life or whatnot, so he kind of just threw and shifted the blame on her. But that's so sad, man. Like, that's the whole part about the episode. That wasn't the heartbreaking part, but that part was just, it was sad, man. It was really sad that he took advantage of an old man like that. But, you know, long story short, you know, they solved the case, of course. But I love the fact that Don was like, okay, he don't want to tell us where yet. Okay, 6 hits, and I could break his jaw. I guarantee you. Boom, boom, boom. That's 1. That's 2. Oh, he had this address over here. That man spilled the beans so fast, bro. But you knew he wasn't a criminal mastermind because when Gabby went to Sir to obtain some information about the case, we realized that, Sir was like, whoever it is, they're an amateur at this. They're breathing all heavy, and people that are amateurs in something like this are quickly to kill, which Gabby mentioned in this episode. I feel like, yeah, they got to get to this guy, man. And long story short, they did. They saved him, and it was a nice reunion. But that wasn't the heartbreaking part. Now, all that's out of the way, and that was the glorious part of the episode. Like I said, short and sweet. It was wonderful. I love the series so far. You guys know that. But the heartbreaking part for me was Margaret, man. We find out Margaret has 3 kids in total. And one of them came to see her today. I want to say it was Taylor. And she wants to be emancipated. And we understand why, like she can't quite wrap her head around how her mom is not really letting go of the fact that their brother went missing or was kidnapped, take your pick. And it's messing with her connection with her daughters. We learned that her husband kind of took full custody and she didn't fight him so her daughters could have a normal life because she could not give this up about trying to find her son. And I feel like the heartbreaking part comes in when you find out what Margaret has been through and the fact that her daughter wants to be emancipated. And then we have Lacey coming in and trying to give her daughter a perspective and try to understand where her mom is coming from. She even talked to Margaret about it, but her daughter, she understood, especially when Lacey kind of told her that, she still goes to the bus station to this day. You know what I'm saying? That's 13 years. She still goes to the bus station till this day and sits there and hoping that she finds something. And when they showed that scene right there at the ending of the episode, man, and you see the daughter come in and they sit there and Margaret signs the papers because she wants her daughter to have a happy, normal life. She doesn't want her to have to deal with this grief and sit in this torment the way that Margaret is sitting in it. And I'm telling you, man, it's just so emotional. And then that wide angle shot when they show them sitting there from the outside of the bus station. Oh my gosh, man. Tell me that didn't make you all emotional, get you all teary eyed and stuff, man. That plumb broke my heart, bruh. The way that it happened like that. And just to see Margaret sitting in it like that. We know that she goes to the bus station. And for her daughter to be like, well, I can't believe that you still do this. And she didn't want her daughter to see her like that in that moment. And she was like, well, I won't come any other time, but let me sit with you here, sit here with you tonight. And I was just like, man, that's it, bro. And that's one thing I love about this series. I love the missing person aspect and them solving cases. That's going to be, that's the theme of the show. But it's the characters for me, man. It's the main characters and their backstories that's just feeling so much extra with this show. Like, we care about the missing persons. We really do. Like, we want them to be found, especially when they're children. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that adults don't need to be found when they're missing or kidnapped either or abducted, but especially when it's children. But it's just something about the aspect of our main characters when we dive a little bit more into their details, because we know Gabby kind of rescued all of them, or they all work for her, or she probably helped them at some point. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know that they all kind of surround themselves around Gabby, and she's that strong foundation that holds the glue together. And Trent showed up this episode, but Trent was Trent. He was a cop. I mean, he had minor stuff to do, and we know Zeke is our resident techie, and Zeke had some moments in this episode as well. But it was just that moment. It was all kinds of emotional for me, man. And like I said, I love the stuff with Reggie and them finding him, but it's just that Margaret scene was the highlight of this episode for me. This is what incredible. Don't forget to smash the like button so you can't smash any more. Comment down below, and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them and subscribe. Peace out.
Cause I've been working a lot, I think I deserve a shot, I think I deserve a spot. Cause it's been years on this path that I walked, and if I keep going, I pray I'll be at the top.